Hey guys, it's Tyler from After the Run, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to lose weight while you're on vacation. This is part one of a two-part series because I am leaving on vacation today. I'll do part two when I come back, and we'll talk about how the things that I'm going to discuss today, how they worked, and whether or not I lost weight or maintained weight while I was on vacation. So, first, I should just address that it's really hard to lose weight on vacation. There are certain times of the year, even certain times of the week, that are easier to lose weight than others. So, for example, it is way harder to lose weight on Christmas than it is some random weekday during the summer. All holidays are difficult because so much of the holidays revolve around food and unhealthy foods. Now, weekends are also like that, so it's hard to lose weight on the weekends. Even if you exercise more on the weekends, there are food choices that we make that are often different on the weekends. Well, vacations are one of those times where it is really hard to lose weight on vacations, and particular kinds of vacations are more difficult. So if you're going to a resort or on a cruise, something that is all-inclusive, that's really hard to lose weight because you can eat as much good food as you want. But also just vacation in general, typically you're going to eat out more. Certain vacations you might eat out at nice restaurants. And so you just have to be aware of that it's difficult to lose weight on vacations. The way a lot of people approach that is, well, then I'm going to be healthy several weeks leading up to this holiday or winter or this vacation, the times where they know they struggle. So they work harder in the other times so that it balances out when you gain a few pounds during those challenging times. And I've experimented with this. When I lost 100 pounds a few years ago, I lost weight on all the holidays. I lost weight over the winter because I was pushing myself to do things I'd never done before. And it was challenging. And it was actually harder the second year once I'd lost the weight and was just trying to maintain, to be like, well, should I reintroduce some of these old habits? Should I reintroduce social eating and things like that? And what I found was you have to have some kind of balance. Even if you're losing weight, just understand that, if your mother-in-law, who shows you love through cooking and through creating sweets for you, if you say no to her cookies every time, she's going to be offended, and it is going to affect your relationship. And so sometimes it's better to eat that cookie, okay? And you just need to know that. And I have come to the same conclusion with, it is just harder for me to lose weight over the winter. So I work a little harder during the summertime. It's hard to lose weight over the holidays, and in particular, the Thanksgiving to Christmas holiday. And so I try to be in a position where I can put on a few pounds during that time, and then use moderation, still be smart about things. But me and my wife have found that going an entire summer with no added sugar is a great time to do that. It's much easier than other times of the year, and we feel great, and we are a lot healthier over the summer. And sure, it would be great to maintain that year round, but we've decided that it's not worth the social ramifications and other things. And so we don't do that year round. So I came up with this awesome analogy today while I was on my run, and I want to share it with you. So we're preparing to go on a vacation. It's a 10-day vacation. It's to the middle of nowhere. We have a cool event tonight that I might make a video about on another channel called Happiness Built, but we're going to take our kids to a Dude Perfect concert, and they're really excited. We made a big deal about it, giving them tickets for Christmas. We've done certain things leading up to it. We made like these cool branded hats that we created together. And we've just had a ton of fun preparing for this little trip. Well, it is a 4-hour drive north of us. And then a week from tomorrow, we have a family wedding that is like an 8-hour drive north of us. And we just thought it's not worth coming home and then going back a week later. And so rather than, we don't have a lot of money right now because we're actually saving for a different vacation in the fall. But we decided, well, let's just pick a place that we can go to and explore and have fun with. So we picked a place in the middle of nowhere in Idaho, and we're going to go for a week. We got an Airbnb, and we're going to float the river and go on some hikes and do some fun things that don't cost a lot of money. And we're super excited for it. But I also know that this is going to be a challenging thing. Well, for vacation, here's my analogy. We prepare to leave our house, and that takes certain preparations. To pack and to get ready for a vacation, you have to do certain things for your house. So for example, today I waited to mow the lawn till today so I could mow on the last possible day before we go, and then it will go 10 days without a mow. Not the end of the world, but then we don't have to hire someone to come do it. For our animals, we'll put extra feed in for our dog and for our chickens, but then we have some neighbors coming to check on them every day or two and to walk the dog and do things like that. So we saved up a little money so we can pay our neighbors who are so cute, and they're going to do that for us. But then with our house, we're going to clean it up because we want it really nice when we get back. So we've cleaned the sheets, we've done all the extra cleaning that we do usually on the weekends. So when we come home to a nice house. We'll turn the air down, we'll turn the water off and things like that just to prepare our house. And then we of course have to pack for the trip as well. And so we've packed up all our things into our car. We bought extra things that we'll do. We're really good at road trips. We grew up driving a lot with our children, and they love being in the car with us because we do frequent like mini stops and little mini activities, and we have little gifts we give them along the way, and we have special car treats, and we always make a mixtape for each trip that becomes a special thing that reminds us of that vacation. So we love road tripping, but it requires preparation, so we got things ready for that. Then in addition to that, just thinking, and here's where we start to get into the health stuff. I knew that I would be without food for a while, or without my regular food routine for a while. And so I thought, well, how can I minimize the damage on vacation? So we arranged, I typically do intermittent fasting during the week and eat breakfast on weekends. Well, I thought, well, let's get our hotels on the weekends and an Airbnb during the week so I can continue that routine that will help me with my weight loss. Also, I have found that I love to suck on ice and drink water in the car, but I like flavored water a lot more than normal water. And so I got some Crystal Light packets to take on this trip. And I'll probably drink a lot of water because it'll keep me awake as I drive, but it'll also be something that I can look forward to. Then I know that there's the tendency on vacation to eat a lot of fast food, and I thought, how can I feel full so I don't crave things as much? And so I had to think through what kind of proteins could I easily get, and I ended up just hard boiling a dozen eggs, and then I peeled them already and I put them in little baggies, 2 in each baggie. And if I need a snack, now typically I don't snack, but if I'm feeling cravings, I can just pop in 2 hard-boiled eggs, and I know that that's going to help. Now that's not really exciting, but we do have other treats that I probably will snack on as well. And so this will just minimize the damage, you know? All right, so talking about packing and preparing for a trip, how does that relate to our weight loss and or weight maintenance? Well, I know that I probably won't lose weight on this trip, but by preparing those extra protein sources, that's going to help my body. And just as I prepare my house and my yard, I have done things in preparation for this trip. So I actually lost a lot of weight. So this whole year, if I go back, in January I lost 20 pounds and then I plateaued for 5 months. Then in June I lost 10 pounds. And I want to continue to lose over the summer. Summer is a good time for me to lose weight. Just in the last week or two, I've lost a few pounds, and I thought I can get down a little lower than what I was expecting to. And so even today, I ran a few extra miles. I did an 11-mile run today that I just finished. And that's more than I've been doing on my weekend runs. Typically I do a Saturday run. It's Friday today because I won't be available for a Saturday run tomorrow, but I went a little extra, and I know I got down to 243 last week, which was fantastic. That's what I want to come back at. So knowing that, and I'm probably lower than that now, I'm probably 241, 240, but I want to come home at 243. So I worked a little hard in advance of the trip so that I could have a little more flexibility on the trip. Now I am, just like I packed things for the trip to make the trip more enjoyable, I also packed things for the trip to make my health go easier. So I packed a lot of running clothes and shoes, and my kids did likewise. Fortunately, I have 2 children that are runners now, and so we've planned on going running together each morning. Maybe not every morning, but most mornings. And they won't be as intense as what I'm used to, but it will be great for a vacation. I've also packed things other active things. And in fact, part of our trip is doing hikes, going on the river, doing things that are outdoorsy that will actually help me with weight loss. And so I have taken steps to do that. So there's a lot you can do to prepare for a trip. Now, my actual goal, and we'll follow up with this next week and we'll see how it goes. My goal for the trip is to simply, like I said earlier, to come back at 243 to maintain my weight. Now, losing weight would be a bonus, but I'm not expecting that. Now, things that I'm going to try on the trip to make that happen is I'm going to try to be active. I'm going to be gone 10 days. I want to be active at least 5 of those days. That means doing exercise for at least a half hour, like of intense exercise that day, whether that's going for a run or doing an activity. That's a reasonable goal. So I'm going to do that 5 of the 10 days. I'm going to eat those hard-boiled eggs instead of some of the other treats. I got my kids a lot of treats. There's a lot of sugar that's going to be going around that car and in the hotel. So I'm going to have to say no to that at least half of the time. So that's my goal, is half of the time when we're having snacks to pick the the healthy snack rather than the unhealthy snack. So I'm going to do that half the time. And then I think we just, as a family, we've started establishing a lot more healthy habits. And so all my kids are in great shape and they're healthy. And so I think that if I can just not let myself go, I can still go out to eat a few times. I can still have some treats, but I just have to use moderation. So that's part 1. I'm going to do a follow-up podcast episode on this when I get back in 10 days, and I'll let you know how it went and what I learned. Now, I'm recording this for the first time as a video podcast, so I'm going to just pull the audio off and put it on the audio podcast on Anchor and Spotify. But if you have a comment or a question, if you've done something on vacation that has worked for you, or if you have any questions for me, I'm also going to upload this video to YouTube, and that's where you can throw your comments and questions. So just head on over to YouTube after the run, and you can drop your comment there. All right, have a great week. See you in 10 days. Bye.